Hey everybody, this is Jim at SP500chart.com. I'm coming to you about 4:20 p.m. on May 8th, 2013 here on the East Coast. We're going to take a look at the chart and then we're going to see what happens tomorrow. So far, no big surprises. But before we take a look, I need to remind you that the website and the video are for educational purposes only. Nothing stated in the site or in the video is intended to be used as investment advice. I control lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own research and make investment decisions that are suitable for your personal financial situation. I am not a licensed financial professional. I am just a guy who draws lines on charts. So let's take a look. Okay, today's video. First, let me get this chart centered. There we go. Almost always do that, but I'm a little bit in a hurry right now. So, there. Today, we are very, very close to having reached this top blue line here, that if we extend it back to the left off the chart, we see that it has multiple touches over the last few months. We can go all the way back to February, back here, and then we can extend it out where we fell below it, touched it again in middle of March, fell below it, touched it again in the middle of April, fell below it, and now we're in the process, it appears, of tagging it again. Now, looking at a 30-minute chart, you can see just how close we are to tagging this line. Very close. Got about two more points to go on the S&P, and we will have touched that line. And it's kind of interesting too. If we look at a 10-minute chart, you can see that we had identified what appeared to be kind of just a standard-looking channel right here. Just kind of we gap up, and then we start this little funny-looking flag that's stretched out and up. And interestingly enough, today the market showed more strength than it had when it was than it had over the past 2 days. So really, that's kind of interesting. I wonder if the S&P is just reaching for this target somehow in anticipation that we're supposed to reach there. I don't know. But I can tell you this, and this is really the gist of today's video. I think I'm going to make this a darker blue line just for your for being easy on your eyes. I'm going to make this a darker green line. And these are the two lines to watch for right now. If this line breaks, then that famous last words, then that should set up a test of at least this green line. And if it breaks, then we come down to just under 1600. So it looks like we've got some support levels underneath us, and still there's no top, because still we're making new highs. And as long as we continue to make new highs, then there's we can't say that we're at a top. If anything, we might speculate that we might be at a short-term top, but as far as there being a big reversal pattern, since we have gotten over this 1600 line, the one thing that looked like it could be a reversal pattern was this double left shoulder, double head, and I was, you know where I'm going. It sure seemed to be looking like that may be what's setting up. But I'll just reiterate it. You don't call anything a pattern until it has broken out or broken down and it is confirmed. So, interesting to note, even though we are at a new high, we are still kind of, as you can see, not as aggressive in the move up for the past month, well, almost the past 2 months, as we had been coming off of those November lows. That doesn't mean this market can't just tool on higher. It means it's just doing so at a less aggressive pace overall. Now this last move between these green lines is pretty darn aggressive. It's really slanting up at a pretty strong rate of ascent. So let's watch this line. If it breaks, if it doesn't break, you don't do a darn thing unless you're short. And you've got an area where you figure you're short. You should stop out of it. But what I'm saying is, I'm assuming since this market keeps going up, I'm acting under the assumption that most people are long. So if you're long, I don't think I'd do a darn thing until we start seeing some of these support levels break. And right now, we're seeing resistance levels getting taken out more than we are support levels. So this market, this could be a top, but we got no way of knowing right now until weakness begins to enter the chart. Right now, we don't have any weakness in the chart. We are very near this blue line. We're also near another resistance line that actually is the underside line of this little channel that we started off in January. You'll notice that once we fell underneath that line, this red line right here, we never could get back really on top of it. Couldn't get back above that line. So I think that line would be very strong resistance, but I'm thinking this blue line should turn the market back once we get there. And if it does, the first thing that'll happen is we'll come down and we'll take out this line right here, come down, test this one. If this one gets taken out, then we'll, in all likelihood, make it back down to about 1600. And if that's the case, then we got a decision to make. Do we go long here, or do we play it a bit cautiously? Let's wait and see what happens if and when we get there. So for right now, resistance, weak support, I think, pretty decent support, stronger support. So where we sit in the S&P right now, as I see it, we're much closer to resistance than we are to we're much closer to significant resistance than we are to significant support. So let's see what happens for the rest of this week. Glad I was able to get this video to you this afternoon instead of later tonight. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support.